Welcome back, everybody, to the Elemental Series Earth Closed Qualifier B stream. We did just see on stream Storyblood a 3-0 win over Otterworld. Not the most convincing of wins, to say the least, but nevertheless, they got the sweep. They are through to the next round. And now on the stream, our next match will be Your Maw against the Juicer. It's going to be an exciting one to watch indeed. Of course, my name is Faded again, and joining me on the cast booth this time is Creo. How are you?
I'm doing great today, man. Looking forward to some incredible Rocket League.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it as well. It's going to be some incredible stuff indeed. We've already seen some of it. So we're going to take a look at a closer look of our teams before we get into it. The layouts of both these sides, Your Maw will begin with. We have Calcify, Shots, and Hyder. And then on the side of the Juicers, we do have Labyrinth, Enya, and Tokyo. So two interesting lineups. Of course, we know the likes of Calcify and Shots, some high-tier bubble players coming against this one, so they're ones to look out for to potentially qualify for the main event for this qualifier, whereas the Juicers maybe some lower-level bubble players, but still nothing to scoff at. Some pretty solid players. So what are we thinking, Creo, of this match coming into this?
It's a tough one, really, isn't it? I'd say Calzafi Shots, you're the Your Maw side, more of a modern bubble team. Everyone knows them at the moment. They're quite active. I mean, on the side of the Juicers, you've got a few relatively well-known names like Labyrinth, who's more of a older pro. Maybe, not quite as good as he was, but definitely still super solid. You got Tokyo as well, a great player. I think this one should be a very, very intense game. No one should take a big lead, but obviously depends on how people are playing on the day.
Yes, indeed. It all comes out of how you play in the day. It's the brutality of the format, but at the same time, it is how it is. I think we'll now just send in teams on their way. We've got not much else to talk about. So it is Your Maw against the Juicers. Again, interesting matchups. So we will tell them to head onto the field. I'm sure they're eager to get started. They want to get this one going. Of course, the winner of this match will go on to the qualifying game, actually. The winner of this will play, it says the bracket, Lucky Reapers against Fire Department, the winner of that, but I believe there was an error with the Minx versus Lucky Reapers game, so it should be Minx and Fire Department, the winner of that game that goes against the winner of this game. So, yeah, they're going to have a tough opponent either way, whoever wins this, as we get started with this game. Of course, Your Maw having some early pressure here. Here comes Hyder. What's for control? Tokyo going to bang it back down the field. Calcify going to send us to the side walls. Now Tokyo looking to get to the center, but Calcify blocks him again as their Labyrinth up to block Shots. So Labyrinth does get faked out by Hyder there. Calcify taking a 50-50. Tokyo going to get onto this one, putting it down the side. As I see Enya coming in for this one. Onto the back with a demo. Enya going to be finishing that one. Great demo from Labyrinth there to open up the scoring here as Enya does finish it.
Yeah, solid start from the Juicers. Hyder had a bit of an awkward touch on the side. None of his teammates are really back, and a demo comes in, opens the net for Enya to find an easy goal.
Yeah, easy goal indeed. When the net's that empty, I don't think Enya will have any issues scoring that. So it's a good start to perhaps, you could say, the underdogs, the Juicers. So, yeah, it's the start they wanted. Really early goal. As it is looking a bit awkward for them in the defense here, though. Shots, bangs a shot, and then Hyder so quick to follow up. No one could react in time. And just like that, it's been tied up again.
Yeah, Shots put that so close to the post. He baited out Enya, who jumped the wrong way, and Hyder just uses that to his advantage, puts it behind them. The second defender was a bit too close, to be honest, and a bit of an awkward defense there leads to an easy equalizer for Your Maw.
Yes, indeed. So Hyder looking for the solo plays. He's got the reset, takes it under two players, and Labyrinth struggling to get the ball again. And he's going to float in. What on earth happened here? Hyder just taking out the entire defense himself.
Yeah, he beats Enya. I think Labyrinth expected the shot, so he jumped up high, but it's just hit the crossbar. And that's a relatively easy goal for Shots to find as the third man struggles to make it back in time.
Yeah, it was super confusing for that defense of the Juicers there. Just shots basically confusing the hell out of everybody, but shots going to be scoring that one in the end, as now we're seeing Tokyo going to be pushing this one out as Enya follows it up, but this gets possession over to Calcify. He tries to find a center, hives or backflips onto it, and it will allow Labyrinth a free ball as those shots. Bangs it downfield. Tokyo going to be sending it to the side. Calcify struggling to reach that one, but it will not matter. It's into the safe hands of Hyder, who will take his sweet time on that one as we see Shots going to take it out. Tokyo presents the sidewall. Hyder getting it again as the Shots looking for an infield pass to Hyder, but Labyrinth will be sending it away. Calcify now on the sidewall. Ania picking up the backboard. Calcify will have an easy clear away as now Tokyo into the corner wall looking for a corner potentially. Didn't have that much boost. It will be an easy clear here for your Maw as now Shots can find a touch to the side. Ania looking to intercept this. And another demo from Labyrinth again onto Calcify. Will not amount to a goal this time round as 2 minutes in. Still your Maw leading by 1 goal.
What a banger by Hyder. Almost found the net there. It's just crossbar down. So far, you're more with the lead, but both teams had a relatively even amount of pressure. No one particularly ahead, which is what I predicted. So far, the Juice is just really looking for that equalizer. Half the game passed. They really want to take this game one, as it is, of course, a playoff like sort of bracket style. You can't really be using any games to warm up. You need to be on point the whole day.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that one. You got to be on point the whole way through because one game can make the difference in any series. As there's some pressure being built by the Juices here, spending a lot of time in the Yormore half as though Labyrinth trying to make a solo play here. Just slams it into shots. Though Ania again trying to find these demos onto the Yormore side. So that's a double commit from the Juicers, and that will surely relieve some of that pressure unless Ania can prevent Calcify from getting out. No, Hyder will pounce on it and take it away. The Labyrinth attempts to control it. It's set into the midfield. Tokyo gonna leave this one for Ania, looking for the infield pass. There's Labyrinth, but he's intercepted by Shots. So bouncing into the middle. Ania gonna try to get up for this one. A bit awkward, sends it off his own bar. Hyder with the follow-up off the bar again. Shots with a follow-up again, but seems to completely miss it. So Shots sends it back into Calcify to try keep this attacking pressure. Hyder up again, does beat out Tokyo. Calcify now looking to center it. Hyder and Shots both up. It is left for Shots, but what a save from Ania to stop another goal from going in. A minute and a half left to go, Creo. Still, this game proving to be highly competitive.
Yeah, you know, the last minute or so, both teams are back and forth. The shot count is neck and neck. Both teams with, you know, roughly the same amount of shots. They're applying nice pressure. So far, Yamor have been able to maintain their lead, but there's still a minute for the Juices to come back into it and take game one. They haven't really done anything too threatening in the past minute or so, but they definitely have the potential to fire off some strong offenses.
Yeah, for sure. As Enya tries to go for the hook shot there, Tokyo sending it to the backboard, but Labyrinth, you have no business going off of that, mate. Hyder has you beat. It's now Enya looking to make a solo play. Awkward control of this one, but he has no one to contest him just yet as Calcify tries to come off the ceiling. So Hyder tapping it forward, Shots following it up. Tokyo gonna try find it a touch into the center, maybe no, he decides to take control instead. So Labyrinth trying to make a center here, awkward control, but finds a pinch with Enya, and he will finally get that equalizer 26 seconds to go.
Beautiful pinch there from Labyrinth and Ania. They just come together. They beat Calzafi. I don't think he was expecting the pinch at all. And Shots is unable to reach that as it heads straight into the top of the net. Absolute banger. And the Juices have found that equalizer they've been looking for the past 2 minutes. With 20 seconds to go, will one of these teams be able to take the win in regulation, or will we see overtime already?
Oh, along the run of play, Creo, I would expect this one to be in an overtime. Shots, he's threatening now. Tokyo going to try to get it out. Hyder turning onto it. Pinch this to the side. It allows Shots to maybe go for it again. Perhaps doesn't have much boost. No, he's got 0 in the tank, but it's dropping down. Dangerous chance, but Labyrinth will ground it. Overtime in game one. Is now kicking off again. We're seeing Enya winning this one into the corner, but Shots now has a little bit of time to work with. Taking it up the wall, past one. Looking to get past the second one. He's running out of boost though, and Tokyo just zooms into that one, gets it away. As now we see Tokyo looking for a center, pinches it high. Could be a bit awkward here as Enya beats Calcify, dropping down Shots. Misses that ball, it's all down to Hyder, but he should have this. Labyrinth's not willing to commit for that just yet.
Yeah, I was extremely close there. The bar came bar down. I don't think he was expecting it. Couldn't make the shot. And luckily for Yamor, they stay in this for a bit longer. 30 seconds into overtime. and still just as even as the first 5 minutes. Anya off the ceiling there, almost a chance. Tokyo went for the demo, but no one able to follow it up.
Yeah, what I'm noticing about this just aside is that they're trying to go for those demos. It's not directly led to a goal thus far, but it's been doing good for them to try and keep pressure on the Your side. So that's something they could definitely try to, increase the frequency of getting those exit demos if they can. That's for a minute into this overtime. Hyder trying to take it out. Shots trying to take over, but he is blocked straight away as Ania looking for this solo play. He knows he has time. Looking to get an air dribble going in off the bar. Follow up from Labyrinth, but it's blocked off the bar. Getting shots with the save off the post there. And again, so close for the Juicers, nearly having the win. It was a great play by Ania, but still we keep on going.
Yeah, I mean, in this battle of the, old versus the new sort of thing, Yamor in this overtime have been under a huge amount of pressure. I mean, they kept it relatively even in the first 5 minutes of the game, but the Juicers have had everything in this overtime. They've maintained the control so well, and they're the only ones who've been able to get shots off, and Yamor unable to really find a chance to counterattack.
Yeah, indeed, the Juicer is doing really well here, and that's yet again Labyrinth another double, but he bottles the open net, and again another chance slips through. Surely they would have had that, and then the counter attack from Shots. Tokyo blocks it with the follow-up save as well. Save this flip, as oh my word, this game is absolute chaos as both teams having threatening chances. Now Ania looking to get this one in the solo play. Finally, a goal goes through, and what an overtime that was, Creole. But the Juicers come out on top.
Yeah, incredible overtime. I'm not sure what really happened, but Yamor just seemed to start crumbling apart in that overtime. They were unable to break out of defense. They just kept getting pressured by the Juicers, and eventually it led to them finding a goal. Anya in that one-on-one from a demo beautifully cleans it up, and they take game one very nicely. And if they're able to keep playing like that, it's going to be tough for Yamor to really play in game two because they're under a huge amount of pressure and they didn't seem to be able to break out of defense.
Yes, indeed. And what we've got to notice a lot about the Juicers is Ania. Look at him. 3 goals to his name, but it's all thanks to his teammates setting him up well for success. You could argue that last goal for them, it was all Ania. That one-on-one solo play was incredible, but the other goals, just Labyrinth and Tokyo doing well to set him up for those chances. We know what Ania's mechanical capability is like. We've seen him before, and so he's making good use of it here, but Germani seemed to, yeah, as soon as the overtime went in, they seemed to drop off a little bit and they found barely any pressure at all, whereas the Juicers were all over them. And whilst it did take quite a few attempts for the Juicers to finally score, there was definitely that one open net that Labyrinth should have scored, but nevertheless, they get the win, it doesn't matter, and they've now found the advantage in this series. And so going into game 2, momentum seems to be siding with the Juicers, but you never know when the experienced modern-day bubble team, as you'd call it, of your maw could bounce back.
Yeah, I have to say that 8 ping is doing a lot of work for Ania. He's got that bit of, more time to react to the ball.
Yeah, definitely. That's Dutch internet for you, I think. Yeah, Ania's only Dutch player here, so he has the obvious advantage. That's clearly the reason why they won that last game. Silly us, but as we now go into game 2, looking like the Juicers again having that early pressure, but now Shots, a little bit of time. Ania's just having none of it, though. He's just getting in his way as now he takes it past 2 players. Calcify having to get a touch on it. Now Tokyo looking for a shot. Calcify blocking that one as their Hyder really quick to that ball. Ania back in defense, taken out again. A little bit of time here for your maw as now Shots getting a flick past one. Ania onto this, contest it. On the side, well, Tokyo now going for it once again. So Ania up for it. We know him for these plays, making solo plays, he's getting it past defenders every time. As we see Labyrinth trying to get onto that one, can't do much with it. Tokyo onto the backboard, Hyder will be there, clearing it to the side walls, Shots will be there to meet it. Not the best shot in the world, it will be easy for Ania to save, but first minute come and gone, and things definitely have calmed down a little bit between these two teams.
Yeah, for sure. Almost a chance there for Hyder, comes down off the crossbar, a close one for sure from them. The defense keeps up for the Juicers. Relatively even opportunities in this second game. Looks like the Yamor side just happened to crumble in that overtime pressure a bit. They're managing to keep it up in this game number 2. Hyder on the attack now, looking for a pass. He beats one, but can't find a second. And we've yet to see the opening goal in this game. Perhaps whoever takes it will be the victors.
Yeah, with the run of play of this game, it's looking neck and neck, you could say. Both teams having their fair share of chances. So I think whoever gets his first goal should be coming out on top in this game, as their Hyder having a lot of time there. Puts it over to shots. Labyrinth's trying to get to it as their Hyder, sorry, getting a long shot. It was top corner, but Ania will get that save. Now Tokyo, a little bit of time and space to work with, trying to take it out. And you see Calcify, he's been going for a lot of these demos in this game. It's something that Yurmo have added to their playbook, trying to get more demos onto the opposition, but it's not amounted to anything thus far. It's the kind of strategy that the Juicers went for last game, and it did net them a couple goals. So it seems like Yurmo trying to copy that strategy, perhaps, but so far not getting them anything. As the defense of the Juicers looking solid so far, but with half the game gone, both these teams still looking neck and neck with nothing to separate them.
Yeah, I have to say, neither team's been able to find really a nice opportunity to score. Labyrinth, a great pass there, but easy save for shots coming out. I think what we saw a lot of from the Juicers was the demos, and they're really useful, especially with teams like this where the rotation is so like refined that if you find a demo and interrupt that flow, you could really catch someone off guard.
Yes, for sure. That's the power of demos here. So both teams trying to add it to their playbook here, as now Ania with two opposing players going for the ball. Does get past all three, but none of you can do much with it. Does lay it off for Labyrinth, and it's onto the backboard where shots will be back in time. It's now Tokyo having a chance. Ania will cut in for this one. Calcify going to try to take control of the back walls. Ania in for that again. It's a chance for Tokyo. He just needs a light shot, tries for the double, but can't put the shot on target. It's their shots looking to lead this counter attack. Does have Calcify in the midfield to work with. A light flick onto net. Labyrinth will be getting that save as Hyder now taking so much time. Two defenders going for that one, but Labyrinth will be able to get it out. It's now an open net, but don't think he's got much boost to work. We're trying to get a fast center shots, finds a touch onto it, and it will send it to the side. The shots on zero boost. Let's get the full, trying to get this one to the side wall. Really trying to dodge Labyrinth, who's just right up his behind. Is now Hyder trying to get onto that one. Calcify looking for a play, but Labyrinth on that one again. Looking to keep on going as he looks for the shot onto the far post. Shots will pre-flip into it, and 45 seconds left. Things starting to speed up a little bit in the final minute. So we see.
Oh my god, that was close. Labyrinth with the shot. The follow was almost there. You're more so close to a goal, but so far the Juicers some incredible defense. They're on a counter attack now, but it's cleared once again by shots. And as we head into the final 20 seconds, it's a bit of a golden goal scenario. A chance here for Calzafi, but he's missed again. Neither team really able to claim one at this point.
Yeah, indeed. Calcify had such a great chance there, but he just couldn't get enough power on the shot there to get it in. As now it could be our second overtime in the series unless Tokyo can have some heroics here. Sends it off the backboard. Calcify fast to that, and it will drop 0-0 this time. Scoreless going into golden goal. As we now see off the kickoff, here comes Hyder off the ceiling, looking for solo play maybe. Does dunk one player as their Labyrinth up for us, trying to take control of it. We see shots waiting as now Tokyo takes out Calcify, but shots will have no problems dealing with this. So Ania, it's the back wall. Calcify sending it away. Labyrinth dropping it into the box. So Tokyo waiting for his chance, trying to get a challenge. Ania going to go up for this. No second chance though, as now Calcify will send down the field. Got a bit of boost to work with. It's nice not to follow it. Is now looking to take Labyrinth out of the game. He can't catch up to him. Shots now with a shot on net. Hyder trying to get a bump, but there's two defenders in net. You got to take out both if you're going to have a chance to score. There's now Tokyo. Tries for the flick. Calcify predicts it perfectly. Now off the corner. Looking for the shooting chance. No, he goes to the pass. Hyder nearly having it, but great save from Ania. So Tokyo looking to get this clear out. You're more seeming to have more of the pressure in this overtime so far. So we see Ania. I'll take this one out. The shot on net. Hyder onto the net. Tokyo will be sending it away. It's now shots into the side wall. Tokyo going to be taking this one up. What can he do with it? Does contest it. It's now Hyder. Out to the side wall. Tokyo going to try turn for it again. Calcify with a 50-50. Shots up for this one. A bit of an awkward touch. But now Hyder diving down to this one. Labyrinth taking control. What can he do? Looking to get it past Calcify, but it goes off the post again. So close here for the Juicers. Is now another 50-50. Calcify goes out to the side of Hyder, looking for a touch, but he can't find anything. So shots, infield pass for nobody, and there's now control here for the Juicers as they're looking to start yet another counter attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really neck and neck. Clearly, you're more just bowled it a little bit in the last game, but they're keeping up incredibly in this game's overtime. They, in fact, have a lot more of the pressure this time. This, both teams are so well matched. They're keeping at 0-0, 2 minutes overtime in both games. This is probably going to be an incredibly intense series for the rest of the series, of course. Haider, a chance now to take it downfield. He beats one, and the shot from Shots himself comes in with speed. I think they expected Hyder to hit that one, but he's just cut the rotation and caught the defenders completely off guard.
Well, if you cut the rotation, you do it well, then you've obviously done a good job. Shots finishing that one off. Only one goal separated those two teams. It was very tense, and really either team could have taken it. But Yermot, with a bit of individual class there, managing to take the victory in this game. And so, all tied up there, 1-1, Creo. You know, both these teams playing so close with each other at the moment, and there's very little to separate from them. But do you reckon is there anything either of these teams could be doing better to give themselves the edge in this series?
It's hard to say, to be honest, because I mean, so far these teams are clearly very, very, they're on top of their game. Their rotations have been pretty much perfect. The defense is solid. Their offenses they're mounting seem to be pretty good. If there's, the one thing I could say, we've seen a few demos, but neither team going for too many. I think if we just see some more demos from these teams, I think they'll be able to create more space on the pitch that they're able to take control of. Should give them a bit more, time to work with when they're trying to start an offense or, rotate back into defense. It's always a useful tool to utilize, and I think they could just use it that bit more.
Yeah, definitely. We saw both teams trying to utilize the demos. It was the Justos that did it in game one and it netted them at least one goal directly from it. You saw your Maw trying to do it, especially Calcify, just getting those exit demos. So, for both these teams, I think it's a good thing to implement and just to take out each other. But I wanted to continue doing a lot of the solo plays as well, maybe. We saw Ania, especially, doing a lot of them, and it seemed to bring them some success. But, shouldn't do it too much. Because he makes himself predictable doing it. He needs to just change up a little bit, but he seems to be the point man on this Juicers team. He scored all the goals for them so far, so he's the one that's got to step up, and both the teams got to try set him up as their Labyrinth with a pass to Tokyo for the early goal, perhaps. Shots will save it off the line as their Hyder getting it out. It might be a bit too hard for Ania to catch up to, but Labyrinth will be just behind them. We have awkward control of this one. Ania I try to take it out, take his time, force the 50 with Hyder, gives Labyrinth a shooting chance. Shots will get out, so Ania bumps the last defender in Tokyo. He's got a shoot on it, hasn't he? He's forces a double commit, but Hyder did not see him, just on the ground off the line. And Yermot, with some sloppy defense to say the least, will escape being scored on.
Yeah, that was really close. Tokyo came in with the mega block in midair, beat out two men, but luckily Hyder was ready for that one. You're more surviving. They have a chance to score now. Hyder with the pass. Kalzafi, the shot, but Labyrinth, an incredible save. He puts himself in the perfect position to stop that one. Shots challenging the net once again. Tokyo with a save, and so far, once again, game three, neck and neck. Both these teams just perfectly matched.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. They're so close, you could almost call it perfect, No matter what's thrown at either of these teams, they somehow manage to find a way out of it. Those are two close chances, and yet someone comes up clutch. We saw Hyder first and Labyrinth on that second attempt. It was just, intense stuff here, to say the least. Both these teams really got to push it to the limit if they want to score on each other. As they're Hyder having a chance. Shot takes about one, an easy peasy open net for him, and Jarmot will open up the scoring here.
Yeah, Tokyo left in a bit of awkward position. The early jump from Labyrinth, I think he just rushed in there a bit too much. He ended up leaving the net open after just completely missing the ball in shots. Has himself an easy peasy opening goal. You're more the lead in game three. I think the Juicers just need to slow it down a bit. Maybe try and think about their positioning a slight bit more, because they got caught out quite a few times in that last play.
Yeah, for sure. They got to look at that a little bit more. That aspect of the gameplay maybe starting to crumble. Maybe you're more figuring it out that you have a bit of positioning issues. So you got to fix that. There was a really awkward defense there for the Juicer side, and you know what? Your more capitalized perfectly, as that was an absolute boomer of a pinch, and Labyrinth was rightfully caught off guard by it. As now Tokyo maybe taking it to the corners. Calcify onto the backboard, Ania having no problems dealing with it as those shots comes in. On the backboard, Tokyo going to take it out again, looking for the double, trying to take it out as Hyder gets it back into the opposing half. Labyrinth really awkward on this ball, and there's a messy rotation here. Calcify, easy shot for him, and again, there's some sloppy defending coming out of the Juicers that cost them.
Yeah, the front post rotation from Labyrinth, that's just awful. He just kind of hesitates there as well, makes the other defender think he's going for it, and he's unable to make the save. Really poor positioning from him. They need to make sure they're rotating around that back post. It's beginner lessons, it's the basics, and somehow they're not able to do it. And it's just allowing Yamor to find easy goals in this game. You know, taking a win. I mean, it's maybe too early to call it a win, but if it keeps going like this, they should have a win, and they will have this series point, and that will give them a huge advantage.
Yeah, indeed. You know, the back post rotation, I think everyone harps on about it, but that's a clear-cut example there. Labyrinth, he was just caught in an awkward position and then rotating front post. That's a big no-no. Yes, he could have still saved it, but he made it a really tough task for himself. And it was looking so good for them, but it seems like nerves are starting to play into this, where they're making these small mistakes that normally they wouldn't be making, but now it's some offense again here for your Maw. Labyrinth going to be beating out one player, Anya. Going to take it over, trying to find Tokyo in the midfield. He does get his shooting chance now. Labyrinth with too much speed on that. He just sends it to the side. Anya trying to slow down the play a bit, but it might not be enough as Tokyo will get back to it in time. So Tokyo going to try to push up again, looking for a center. Hyder going to take it past him. Labyrinth with a bit of control here. Looking to get the boost and for a ceiling pinch maybe, but Shots reads it well and Tokyo can't make that save, but there's no incoming shots, so it will be fine for them for now. But as we approach this final minute, 2-0 for your Maw, still maybe 3 as Labyrinth does send it to the side. Looks like it could be serious point here for the your Maw side.
Yeah, they just seem to be playing a lot cleaner than the Juicers side. Their rotation's there. And I think what I'm seeing from the Juicers, which is really affecting them this game, they just seem kind of desperate to hit the ball. They're rushing into a lot of things that they could just be taking a bit more time on. They're just pushing too early. It seems like they're, you know, way too desperate to force things that they just end up letting Yamor take control a lot more than they should.
Yeah, the rotation looks a bit awkward from them, to be honest. I was noticing it where they're being put in difficult positions to make any kind of play. You know, seeing quite a bit of ball side rotation actually. If it's as it's placed doing it, you know, sometimes you want to be doing that, but in most cases, opposite side of the ball is what you want, and it's led to quite a few awkward scenarios where they end up rotating front post, and then it's a difficult situation to deal with. But credit where credit's due. You know, in the last couple of minutes of this game, the Juicers have done better on defense, but next game is where they must step it up. It's a 2-1 lead now in this series for your Maw. One more, and they'll be through to the qualifying match here in the Elemental Series close qualifier. So the Juicers got to win the next two if they want to make it back. And, you know, there's quite a few things to fix from this last game because it was not pretty for them.
Yeah, for sure. The Juicers seem to be feeling the pressure of this match. They took that first game, but Yamor have just done so well that game. They just looked like such a better side. They didn't let anything slip throughout the entire game. The Juicers, you know, kept putting themselves into awkward spots, kept rushing forward when unnecessarily, and it's allowed Yamor to take that 2-0 win. They're going to be feeling really good about themselves coming into this fourth game. They have the series point. If they win this, they clean it out nice and early before the Juicers can get a chance to come back. There's definitely potential for them there, but if they play like they did last game, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so big step up time here for the Juicers as we're going into game 4 of the series. Your Maw looking strong off of that last game, actually to convert their chances as now Tokyo getting a demo on Calcified there, leaves shots on his own, but he'll have no problem dealing with it. Is their Hyder, bit of an awkward spot, will block Ania's shot as well. They're looking to get a fast counter attack as Tokyo puts it to the side, but again he is taken out. Shots now, putting over to the side, is now going to try to take it out himself, looking for a solo play, takes it past one. Now to get past Ania, Hyder also jumps onto it as their Calcify on his own back will beat out Tokyo to it. So Hyder taking the control again, looking for those bumps. And again, Hyder just going after the defenders. This first minute being really aggressive here from the Maw side to say the least. Not just in terms of, you know, finding attacks, but also bumping the defenders. There's been quite a number of demos so far. Maybe that's something you want to do. Just take out as many defenses as you can, make it awkward for this Juicers defense, and make it like a nightmare for them to get anything going.
I feel like they're just trying to play fast and aggressive. They keep going for these bumps. It looks to me like they're trying to throw the juicers into, confusion and try and start making them play awkwardly like they did last game, but it's not going to work out as Anya and Tokyo with a beautiful link up will take the first goal of this series. Looks like they're trying to take their confidence back with a banger.
Yeah, wonderful pass there from Tokyo and Anya. Just brilliant shot. Shots was just pushed a little bit too far up and he couldn't manage to get a touch on the ball. So well played from Juicers. You can say against the run of play, they were struggling to get something going, but you give them that one attacking chance and they'll convert it. As they have a lead in this game as their Labyrinth looking to read it off the corner. Brilliant touches to the center for Anya actually, but it will not amount to anything as their Calcify looking to take it down at the field off the corner. Tokyo onto this one, Calcify taking out one defender, but Tokyo will have slow the game down, allow time for his teammate to get back as now Labyrinth diving in for it. Shots now taking his time. It's got Calcify in the midfield, finds his man and the demo as well, and your Maw will tie it back up.
Shots, beautiful play created by him. He gets a pass and demos the defender Calcify with an open net. Your Maw exploding their way back into this game. They've tied it up, still 3 minutes on the clock. Whether or not the Juicers will be able to keep it up remains to be seen. They may crumble like they did last game, or they may just keep their strength together.
Yes, indeed, as Tokyo is just shunted off the sidewall there. Area, though, getting a touch of a hider, but no one's there to follow up just yet. Calcify dropping to shots, but he's not there to meet it. He'll have to make a save. Good control over this, though. He will manage to get it into the hands of Calcify. At least it's now Hyder going to try clear it down the field. Now Labyrinth waiting for it. Hyder winning that contestation as well to see Tokyo trying to get out. Shots into midfield. Hyder looking for a shot. Easy save for Anya. As now he's going to try to take out again. Both teams try to slow the game down a little bit. As now Tokyo banger to Anya. What can he do? Off the back wall, looking for the double tap. Hyder, excellent clear out to the side. So Labyrinth looking for more pressure. Tokyo up for this. 3 players up for the Your Maw defense. A little bit panicky there, but Calcify will manage to get it out. So Anya wants to control here. Labyrinth taking out Calcify, so there's a little bit of space for Anya, but does not have any control over that whatsoever as their shots. Looking for a solo player of his own. Flicks over one. Labyrinth up for it as well, and we'll find that clear. As we're approaching 2 minutes left, it's still 1-1. Both teams seem to be slowing down a little bit in this game, perhaps trying to play a bit more of a counter-attacking style, waiting for any gaps to open up.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice, to be fair. When you're seeing a 1-1, I mean, of course, for Your Maw, they have a little bit more of a cushion than the Juicers, but they still want to play it safe. They want to try and close this series out. And, if you play defensive and you get that 1 goal off a counter-attack, it puts a huge amount of pressure on the other team. I mean, especially if you're Your Maw and you take the lead, the Juicers are under a crazy amount of pressure to equalize. The Juicers, of course, will want that goal. They want to stay in this series, and both teams just waiting for the chance to pounce.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to play, especially in a high-stakes situation here. Of course, I appreciate the kind of teams that will go above and beyond and just keep on pushing, but both these teams trying to play a little bit more safe. The stakes are higher for the Juicers side. They have to win the next 2 games, whereas Your Maw can kind of play a bit more comfortably and just sit back and wait for an opportunity to present itself. There is not too much of a rush here to get anything going, but that's a big double commit there for the Juicers. Looking awkward for them, and they just bottle potential chances. Hyder over to Calcify. He's got a free double touch opportunity, and he will find that angle. Brilliant play from Calcify to put his team into the lead.
Beautiful passing play. Calcify catches it. Labyrinth attempts to defend it, but he's just gone underneath it, and Calcify sends it sailing into the net. A beautiful double tap takes the lead and puts all the pressure on the Juicers. They're now a goal behind. They're looking at series point. If they can't equalize this, they will be out into the lower bracket. They obviously have that lower bracket chance, but it's a lot more pressure from there.
Yes, indeed. So pressure's on if you're the Juicers. 45 seconds to go in this game. As we are seeing Tokyo trying to go for this one. Anya putting this one into the corner while Tokyo looking for this pass. He's got a free touch into the center, but it's too shallow of an angle. It's just going to be intercepted instantly by Hyder. So Calcify into the side while Tokyo looking for an infield pass. It's Anya a bit too far back. Shot's going to try to take control of that. He's got Calcify to work in the middle, but Tokyo taking him out of the game, but still Shot's going to keep on going. Not give any chance to his opposition. So Calcify into the center again. Shot's turning. Has Anya beat, and that will surely be the finishing goal, but what a save from Anya. Still hope for the Juicers here as Tokyo puts that ball into the sidewall, but the ball's in their own half. That's not ideal. You need to get it down the field now. Shots, though, having none of it. Haidar, the finishing goal, nail in the coffin. 3-1 win for your Maw.
Yeah, the Juicers put up an incredible fight. They did win one game, of course, but towards the end of that series, we just see why Yamor are the better side. They kept it so clean. There was very, very few moments where they seemed to be struggling. On the other hand, the Juicers often looked quite awkward on defense and on offense. Often in the wrong position, unable to make saves. They couldn't really keep possession that well, and it's just led to the loss for them. Unfortunately, Yamor an incredible win. They continue on in the upper bracket. They're now in the qualifying round. If they can take another win, they will be through to the main event. The Juicers still have that lower bracket chance, but they will need to clean it up a lot because there's plenty of hungry teams down there looking to keep themselves in.
Yes, indeed. So very well done to your Maw. They'll be playing against the winners of Minx against Fire Department. So two, high-level rosters. No matter what, it's going to be a tough game for that side. But that's it for this game,
Yep.
everyone. And we will be having uh, our next game on stream very shortly. I believe we're going to be hopping down to the losers bracket for our next game. So we'll be hopping to a short break, and we'll be back very shortly.